Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Revlo Show. I am your host, Filo. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We have Mac Mike back in the studio. Thank you, Mike.
That's not, he messed up.
Stop. I don't want to do it over. Today we have special guests for you. We have Josh and Genevieve in the house.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming
Thanks
in.
for inviting us on a very casual Friday.
Yes.
Casual Friday.
Thank you, guys. And it's the weekend of St. Patrick's, right?
St. Patrick's.
Hey.
Good old St. Patrick. Drink a Guinness for you.
So, great. Well, the reason we have... Well, Josh has been in with us before. And I think that was for a turkey episode, right?
That was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That was Thanksgiving, and I had just met her maybe...
He was so excited that you guys were actually eating, KFC?
Yeah.
He's like, I hope it's something I can eat.
Yeah. It was KFC, and it was...
I remember that, but I don't remember you there. Like,
dude,
I
was
barely
there.
remember you.
No, yeah. It was, I went out to KFC and I ordered the turkey.
Legs, right?
Yeah. It was like a whole fried turkey from KFC.
We got potatoes and everything.
Yeah.
But that was only we had only known each other for like a month or two at that point. So the last time I was on your show, we had barely just met. So it's kind of a cool
Awesome.
way to...
How long ago was that? Was that 2-3 years ago?
That was 2022.
22?
It's like 3 years, maybe.
Yeah. So that was the last time we did it.
Flying.
Time is flying.
All
Remember
right.
that.
Well, awesome. Well, we always like to have guests up in the studio, and we also like to, you're our friends, and we like to show what, all your talents and special things you guys are doing and your works, just like J-Rad. We have J-Rad on all the time. Kai's Most Wanted, and now Josh, and you have a movie now, right?
Yeah. We've been shooting it for 3 years, me and Genevieve.
Hold on. Let's say you're a director. You've done some
Well,
films
what are your
before.
roles? What are your roles?
You have enough time?
Yeah, on this one it was writer, director, actor, editor,
Colorist.
Nice.
and then that alone I know for sure. And then I had to do the posters and marketing too, which sucked. I mean, hell yeah.
Man of many traits.
Yeah, and I wrote it, directed it, and I'm the actor in it, and she shot it. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
she shot the entire film. It's only a 2-person crew, just myself and
On
her.
one of these.
You said a Galaxy?
Actually...
Galaxy Fold, right?
Yeah,
2
Galaxy
or 3?
Fold 3. It started with a 2. It ended with a 3.
We broke one of the... Yes. The whole thing
Insurance
was shot.
paid off. Actually, we flew out the car window while we were trying to get a shot,
and the shot of the camera flying out the window is in the movie too.
Let's
so you
get the
can
name of that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Deformelody and American Nightmare.
Deformality and American.
I wrote down the description of the film. I want to read it out.
You go read it for us.
Yeah. It was great. It was really great. All right, here we go. Deformality, an American Nightmare. A disturbed pop culture obsessed young man decides to find meaning in meaningless by becoming a serial killer and terrorizing the streets. Through his manifesto entries, we get into the mind of a killer whose mission is to bring Americans together by killing everyone equally.
Yeah.
That's the tag. Yeah. That was like Rod Serling. That was good.
Thank you.
Giving me a real... I want to see the radio play. No, but that's a tagline. And that's the tagline.
We saw this. It premiered at LA Regal Live on Thursday, March 6th. We went to a premiere last week. Yes. It was great. Oh my God, it was great.
Dude, it was good. I mean, it is a horror comedy, like you said, right? Dude, I did not expect that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best compliments we had is people were like, oh, it's a horror movie, it's a horror. And then they're like, we didn't know it was going to be funny. Yeah. Or a comedy. It had comedic elements,
I'm not going to lie. Like, what the movie starts... I'm starting to think like, okay, it's gonna be one of those like artistic.
Yeah.
I'm in for a ride.
Yeah.
And then it starts to get like a little funny, and then you're like, oh shit, it's actually it was a little weird. But then you start to get comfortable. You start to develop a relationship with the character, with the main character, and then you start, and then the ball just gets rolling from there, and it's very entertaining.
Yeah. So. Thank you. That's one of the things we've heard a lot, and I know what you mean. Like in the beginning, you're kind of, it's maybe this dour, weird little art film and all that, and we just wanted the silliness to start to keep poking out as it keeps going. But it was a hard thread to do, the comedy and the horror and the drama and all these things and make it work. But we've had good. It was really fun, and it was fun seeing for us it was like a high school reunion.
Seriously, yeah.
I mean, we were like seeing people. I had not seen some people since high school. Like my friend Zeke, he was one of the punk kids.
he was there. He was next to
And
Mondo.
and I don't know like when's the last time they saw each other. So it was really cool how a lot of people just came out.
Showed up.
And it seemed to be a really good time, but it was fun. I told Jen, I'm like, we're not gonna see this many people until our funeral, or like that's like the last time you have.
It felt like that, yeah.
And I did feel like that because we were at the theater, and I'm looking around. It's like there's Mikey, there's Domingo, there's Jonathan Marin, there's Mondo, there's everyone.
Yeah.
And I look and I see Darren, who did all our sound, and we could talk about that too. But like, I'm like, I think this is when you die and you go to an afterlife, you kind of see all these people who were there in important parts, and it kind of felt like that. So it's cool.
That's awesome. Just
crazy.
just to kind of speak on that, because like I was really the outside person in, right? Because Mike invited me to go, and I was like, yeah, right away, like I'm down. Let's go. We get separated.
I told Mike to tell you too. So
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I wanted you to. Yeah.
So, Mike takes me there, and then right away I'm like, yo, I always have to get popcorn with movies. I just can't, like, it's just a thing in the theater. Yeah. So I got some popcorn, and then, they also sell alcohol there. So I was like, okay, let me get a nice IPA.
The problem kicked in.
So then we go, but then Mike, he starts meeting all his other friends, and I don't know them. I only know a few. I only know like you, Domingo. Who else was there? I forget his name. He was sitting next to us. Mondo. Yeah, see, I'm bad with names.
Yeah.
Mondo was there. And so I only knew them. And then I only lucked out that there was some people from work that showed up because they were connected to
Domingo and Dave.
Yeah. So some people were from work from there.
Yeah.
So had that not happened, because like I know Mike is not the type of person to like just like if he takes you somewhere, he's gonna introduce you. But like it was more, to me, it felt like it was more intimate setting for you guys.
Yeah.
That like I let him do his thing, and so I would have just sat back by myself like the weirdo here to watch this movie.
I'm just watching alone.
Yeah.
No, but that's what it really felt like. Like even I hadn't seen people in years, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could sit here and talk to you. And then I'm like, it was a really crazy. It was overwhelming for sure. But it was fun. Everyone came out. And
so this is not my first film I've watched of yours, and like going into it, all of my friends are in it, so it does take me a while to get into like, okay, let's focus, because seeing Daniel,
it opens with Daniel.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Seeing the Dave scenes are hilarious, just because I know them personally.
Yeah.
So it takes me a while to like really, really, really get focused.
For sure.
I'm seeing other aspects of their life that I've dealt with them constantly.
Yeah. Well, I was on the opposite. I sat in the seat.
See, he could watch it as a complete impartial.
And not only that, he calls me over because I was gonna go like to the back, and then I'm like holding my popcorn in my beer, and then he's like, "Filo over here," and I'm like, God. And I gotta go in the middle of these people, whatever. So I sit there, and then like I literally just settled in. I was like, all right, let me watch this movie. Like I was excited because like I hadn't been out. Like I really don't go to like independent film festivals or anything like that. So I really don't watch independent films.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was kind of excited because I do like movies, and I feel like I should go out more. And like that got me pumped. It got me motivated to be like, yeah, let's watch these more independent films. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you have a great movie on your hands, so like it's good.
It played really well, so we're very excited.
Definitely.
But even like how you were saying about Daniel, like here's just a funny little story. Like when we shot with Daniel, we had been shooting for a year already, probably maybe a year and 5 months. We were like, quite a bit in of shooting. And I'm like, Daniel, because he was doing the score, the music, and I'm like, I need you to come and be in a scene. And Daniel doesn't want to do anything. Like he's like, I do not, and I don't. He's not an actor, but I knew he'd be right for this role. I knew he'd be right. He's a veteran playing a veteran, so it works.
Awesome.
But when we did it, when he showed up, I'm like, Daniel, this is gonna be the first scene of the movie. And he's like, why would you tell me that right before we're about to shoot this? Because I'm like, you need to know that we gotta do it because it's gonna be. But like, that's how the movie kind of works.
I like how you're like, he's not an actor. I'm gonna put the most pressure on his shoulders.
I know, but that's what makes it so cool because he knocked it out of the park, and I knew he would. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was well received, and it opens with a guy who, by his own words, would say, "I am not an actor." So I knew it. We were able to, But that's the kind of movie it was, where like he show up and we're like, this is the first scene of the movie. Get ready, we're gonna do this.
Well, Daniel's acted in other stuff of yours, right?
Yeah.
Because I think you said this was probably his best performance he's ever done.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I cast everyone for what I know. Mikey was in the last film, Alondra Underground.
Oh, that's right.
Which is so funny, dude, because the words you say, and I just saw it in another indie movie where it's like, those who know do not say, and those who say do not know. That was one of your words.
Yeah.
I just saw it in another indie film, like Mikey just said that in our movie. But it's actually, so this film is my first film release. I never released a film. This is the first film. But it's my first feature film, but technically it's my fourth feature film. Because the first three were never released. And
I don't know how any of that works either, so if you're confused.
Yeah. but it's a lot of experience that led to this one, because I think I couldn't have done this one without all of those.
Didn't we watch? We had a watch party, right? Or how do we watch that one?
We did some
for Alondra Underground.
Well, we filmed a party. That's probably why I don't think we had a watch party for Alondra.
I remember watching it. Did you put it on?
You watched
No,
it.
I think
it was on YouTube.
Yeah,
at some point.
I think I told you we need, because I watched it so that we can do that.
That was the first time we did the episode.
Yeah. So maybe you watched it with me or on your own accord when I said that we were going to have them in for that.
That's right.
But no, dude, I mean, it was great. I love, you can definitely tell like it's a work in progress, and you're only going to get better.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the inspiration behind this film, honestly? I mean, I kind of get it. I get it. But I've seen the movie. So let's explain that to the audience.
Again, the inspiration, usually like you go, I saw this movie, I wanted to do this. It was never supposed to be a movie. Me and Daniel, we have a band, Zembla, that we just fuck around with it. It's just something me and him have done since high school. We just make music for ourselves and all that. And we were putting together these albums that we were like, hey, let's put a little more energy into it. Not a lot more, but it was a little more than we ever did. We used to just, fucking drink, start playing, and that was the album, one take. And it's like, that's the band. But this was, we had put some things together, and we're like, let's just try to put some cooler stuff. And so we had this album. It's like, they're still unreleased, but this is how it all starts. So, one of the albums was called American Psychos, and it was because I was reading the book at the time, and I'm like, oh, I'll just we had a couple songs, and Daniel wrote a song called Serial Killer Depression. And so there was all this serial killer stuff just manifesting. Yeah. So I'm like, let's just call the album American Psychos. I already wrote another song, American Psychos, and then we had a song called Violence Now, which is actually in the movie.
Oh, nice.
It's when I killed a cop and I steal his uniform, and then I'm singing a video to myself, Violence Now.
And I have to admit, dude, that soundtrack for the movie, dude, we loved it. Like I was vibing to that.
Well, it was incredibly important because the movie is called Deformelody.
Yeah.
So it's all about the music.
The girl at the Mariachi Plaza, that was great. That song was great.
It opens up Sofia Lynch,
which is also her original song.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So even just a story about that, right? So this is a true story. So we were gonna shoot that scene, and we were it was like crazy how we hire people day of, come in, shoot, and we were like, okay, just get a girl, and we'll have how there's a lot of voiceover. So we're like, we'll have the killer voiceover in his head, so she doesn't need to know how to play guitar because you won't hear it. So we're like, we'll just get a girl who can pretend to play guitar, and we'll design the scene like that. And then we see Sofia on the casting, and then we go, oh, she actually makes music, let's listen to it, and it's really good.
Yeah, it might be one of those things where he would say, oh, someone's probably good for the role, and then I would cyber stalk them to see anything they might be good at, or their wardrobe. We had instances where oh, that Instagram picture you have, wear that as your wardrobe. So,
but
might have been that.
It might have, but what happened was we saw her and we're like, oh, this is really good. Do you have a song? She sent us that song. She's like, I did this in high school. Yeah. And it worked perfectly because even the words of her song were I can make this work with this story.
Yeah.
She's drinking and depressed. That's how it opens, And I'm like, this killer would totally vibe to this. But that's an example of these beautiful happy accidents where it's it was supposed to just be a girl not really playing a song, and then we got a great actress who had this song.
And she's great. She kills it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the actress. Can we get
That was Sofia Lynch.
Sophia Lynch.
You can actually even probably see like a group of little teenagers if you look quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because after the shoot, they came up and they thought she was like a real singer. They're like, "Oh, do you have an Instagram? Can we follow you?
no way.
Can I get this on iTunes?"
Yeah.
And then what happened later when we talked to Sofia for ADR, at the time she just did it like, singing it. And then she recorded it in a studio setting. And she goes, she told us too, she was like, you guys kind of inspired me to do that. And it was cool. And what we did in the movie was we used her studio song and then her, acoustic
the intro
version.
went into the
So
intro
her
went into the
recording that
studio.
song on her own made the movie better.
Yeah,
You know,
we
that's
couldn't
just
have
something
afforded
she
to
did.
get that.
Yeah.
So
I was okay.
A lot of
I was
happy
wondering.
accidents like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Got her motivated to do it, and then
So now
put
you
it in.
can stream Sophia
Yeah,
Lynch on iTunes
Spotify
or
too.
wherever.
All right, we'll throw that up. I'm gonna get I need
Yeah.
the information right after.
But a lot of cool music.
So a question because you had a few different girls and they kind of all look the same, which is kind of funny. Because there was the
That's
main
what happens to the
girl.
killer.
There was right.
It starts blending faces.
There was a main girl that she did a song at the end.
Yeah,
too.
so her name is Final Girl, and it's like in horror films, there's
Oh,
always
yeah,
a final
okay.
girl. So
Yeah.
she's the final girl, and she's our main actress, and she shot with us the most. But like, it's kind of built on their relationship. The whole movie is kind of built on these two. And again, like he sees her as Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah. Kind of very. She did kind of look like.
Yeah,
her a
well,
little bit.
we played with things like that.
Yeah.
As it's supposed to be playful. The movie's supposed to be a little silly and playful. You're not supposed to,
Well, yeah, I mean, and I like that because like you're taking us into, which is why I
The
say like
mind of-
you're taking it to the mind of the main character, and it really does like I don't want to say too much, but like why he's killing, and you kind of start to sympathize with him if
understand, kind
yeah,
of, in a
like if
way.
you're around the same age, like millennials, you're like you kind of understand, like you want to act on that, but hey, I'm not gonna do that, but this guy on screen will.
Well, that was the catharsis of horror films. You want to see something on the screen, and it's like he was just a mouthpiece, and he's supposed to be a complicated character. If it was a simple character, it wouldn't be that interesting.
Your facial expressions.
I
With
know,
the
I was
blood over
getting
your
that.
face.
That's
It's
what it was.
hilarious.
Because even Shaun Weiss was like, I've been walking around and seeing images of your face doing crazy, all this stuff.
Glad you brought up Shaun Weiss. I think
Yeah, so Shaun Weiss from Mighty Ducks. We have
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Yeah, even like this. So Shaun, I presume you want to know how'd you guys get? Shaun?
Yeah.
I want to say before we get into that, the first thing I said when we left, when we were driving away, Mike and I, we got in the car, we're driving away, we're talking, but then we were talking about like getting you in, like in the studio. And
Yeah.
like, I go, yes, we do, because the first thing that came to my head when he said that, I was like, how the fuck did he get Shaun Weiss to do this movie? Like,
We asked ourselves that a lot of times.
Yeah, but see, your reaction is the real reaction everyone should be having.
yeah.
Yeah. So it starts as a simple Instagram message. So we say we have this project. Actually, what we did, we had to create kind of like a little demo reel for him just to show something. And the scene I always use, always like showing things, was the jogger, the redheaded jogger in the park where he's trying to talk to her and she's like, get away from me,
Yeah.
So we did show him that, and I think it got his interest enough, but we were in talks with him, trying to just get him to like even just talk to us, because we're like, that's crazy, he's been in cool stuff, especially 90s kids, we know him, okay?
Yeah.
If you know, you know. And he was doing stand-up comedy in LA, and we were shooting, if you guys remember in the movie, there's a stand-up comedian, a girl named Jessica, Alina's, I believe. Sorry, there's so many casts, if I get any name wrong, it's
There's like
so many.
over 40
Jessica
cast
Alina,
members.
she's a comedian, she's hysterical. But we went to go shoot her doing stand-up comedy, and when we were there, we saw Shaun Weiss there, and we're like, hey, we're talking to him, like, and now we're here, maybe we should like talk. And then I'm like,
No, but we also felt like complete freaks.
well, no, we didn't want him to think we were stalking.
He hadn't responded to our email
He hadn't responded
yet.
to our last back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, because when we were there, Mike and I were like from afar after the movie. We see him over there talking to you, yourselves, and I think one of the actresses. And we were looking over, and then we're like, "Oh, Goldberg, we're gonna leave." And then, like, I wanted to go say what's up, but like, I didn't want him to feel bad.
No, he would have been cool.
Great.
But that's what it was when we first saw him, and we've been in communications. But we're like, he didn't answer our last message, and now he's here. So like, should we go up to him? He might think like, these kids are fucking crazy. They're coming to my shows now. Get away from me. But we were literally there to film someone else, and that's kind of the serendipity of the film where things were happening like this. So we do go up to Shaun and talk to him, and I go, Shaun, I know you don't know me, but we've been talking on Instagram about doing this film. He's like, remind me, what is this? It's this serial killer film. Oh, okay. I said, we're here because we're filming this actress. We're going to kill her tonight after the show. But, and we did. That's how we shot it. And she was a trooper, dude. She got right out of stand-up comedy show and just went and took a fake bottle in the head and glass and blood.
And then we drove her to meet her friend for drinks downtown.
And she had, remember, she liked the blood. She was like,
she leave it. Actors love to walk around with their blood.
That's the one thing we did learn.
Oh, really?
Is actors do love to walk around with blood after it's done, most. But that's kind of how we met him. And I talked to him that night. I said, look, I think we can do this movie. I think it's like and I used Ki Hu Kwan from Everything Ever All at Once. He was Short Round and I said, look, this guy just did a badass movie called Everything Ever All at Once, where like no one was doing things with him in Hollywood, and he just showed everyone he can act his ass off. He can run circles. I said, that's what I want to do with you. I want you to act. We've seen you do funny stuff. We've seen you be the comic relief. But I want to see you do something like really cool and different. And that's how we got him intrigued. And we shook hands that night, and he said, I'll do your movie.
Nice.
And then we probably didn't shoot with him again, though, for probably another like 5 months or 6 months. Wow. So it was a process.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. You really went out.
We shot with him for 1 day only.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was only 1 day.
Well, okay, the big scene at the end, that was a 1 day shoot. But you see him flash all throughout the movie. Yep.
Window,
all these little flashes, right?
Yeah.
So what that is every time I'd see Shaun Weiss throughout the years, I'd say, hey, Shaun, can I just film you doing this? And he's like, sure, I guess. Like, he didn't know what the hell I'm doing.
At the beach.
So like, even the opening of the film, which is him at the beach, which, I personally, partial, I really like the imagery. But like, we were shooting something with him. We were shooting a gig with him. And then after we were at the beach, I'm like, hey, Shaun, would you mind doing a couple shots for our movie? And he's like, let's go. I'm like, can you take your shirt off? And then he's like, what?
He would have never imagined in his life he would ask Shaun Weiss to do that.
No, but the opening. That's amazing.
This pleases me.
Yes. But it was really cool, and that's how we did it though. Like, he wasn't expecting to shoot a whole thing, and then when he's in the theater, he's like, "Oh fuck!" Now I get what he was doing with all this.
Yeah. So he had no idea. And
I mean, he knew that I wanted to get stuff for the movie, but not in any context or way. He was just like, "Let's just shoot." Like, that was what was cool about him. Yeah. By the end of it, we took him to LAX because he moved to Georgia recently. Yeah. So he left. He's out to Georgia now, and he's doing stand-up. He's doing a lot of really cool stuff. Like, he's doing great stuff. But we took him to fly him out, there. And by that point, I'm like, Shaun, can I get a shot, like, low angle? He's like, just do it. Like, by that point, it was just like, he wouldn't ask or he didn't need context.
So just do it.
But that's how we got Shaun Weiss.
That's great. Goldberg, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and we're really excited about it because, like I said, Shaun's he's effortlessly funny. Like, if you hang around him, he just will have you laughing, But to see him in the movie, and I know we can't talk too much about it, and that's on me. These guys are like, you bring us here, and I can't even fucking talk about his performance. But the truth is, he does play a very cool, unique, disturbing role. And it's kind of like what Robin Williams did in 1 Hour Photo. That's kind of what we were thinking of. Like, you take someone you know someone from, and you try to, like, go, how would that play out in a darker scenario? So that's kind of what he does in this film. And, I really can't wait till people see it. So
I mean, it
was pretty chilling for us. Even to be in the room, him doing it, I was like, fuck, he's disturbing as this.
Yeah. Well, I have to say his performance, you definitely stands out, from the group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
we were talking about afterwards. Like, you can tell that guy's been
I mean,
like just his
even
delivery.
Filming with him. You go, oh, that's why he was already, he was at the show, he'd been there. Because you get in the room with him and it's like, oh, fuck, it takes on another form. And then you have to try to elevate your game. And I think we all did it together. And then Yeah, it's a great. We love the
Oh,
scene.
you did a great job too, though. The carjacking scene where you were behind the guy was just hilarious.
Uber.
It
Well,
was so funny.
That's so great because he won't like say anything positive about himself as an actor. He's like, if I could have got someone else, they would be.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we couldn't afford anyone else. But Shaun Weiss, when they acted that, scene, he was like, "You're a really good actor," and he's told him on multiple occasions. And I'm like, so like, you don't believe Shaun Weiss?
Yeah, I know. It was fun, but the Uber scene for sure was like a mad bit of, and that guy was really good too.
Yeah.
It's just honestly, these actors were all incredible in their role. Like every single actor in our movie did exactly what was needed from them.
For real.
You know, they were all perfectly fit their parts, and even with us, like you can contort parts to actors and make it change things
Yeah.
around, and we had a lot of that. But I do like that scene too, the Uber. I mean, the killer seems extra crazy in that scene. Like he's completely bonkers.
Seriously.
I think that was the one where like let's turn it up to 10. Like
Because
it's
he's crazy, he's forgiving, he's...
It's just all over the place, you know.
Seriously.
And Sean Ritter, who's the actor in that, like he just came and like the cool thing was like we just hired him. Like yeah, I'll do it. Cool. Like this. We met him 5 minutes before we're doing the scene, and we're like, can I put the rope around your neck and get these? He's like, yeah, let's do this. But he gave such, you hire good actors and good things are gonna happen.
That's great. How much did you pay these actors?
Well, that was the thing. The truth is, when we started the film, everyone got paid something, and it wasn't a lot because this was
Whatever we
completely
even said
self-funded
we would
movie.
pay them, like
We
a
paid
little.
more.
He always paid more. He's like,
Yeah,
he
we'd
did
be like,
he was so proud.
here's
He's like, they did more.
$30
Here's-
and here, but we'd pay him like 50 or 60. It'd be like, because we knew it's so low. But in the beginning, we were actually paying all the actors from the start. In the beginning, we tried to pay him something.
He
'cause
was adamant in the beginning. Was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to not pay anyone.
that was But by the time we got to like a really good point with like, I don't know.
We had enough footage. We knew what we were kind of good.
I don't even know if we had Shaun Weiss. I don't know when, but
Ah.
basically we had a lot of good stuff. But we're like, we can't finish this movie if we have to pay everyone to do them. We can't finish
Yeah.
it. So what we did is we put a whole package together with like an even better demo reel.
Yeah.
That was like, people, this is gonna be a free roll, but you can take a look at this video. There's like 4 minutes of footage.
Nice.
And if you want to be a part of something like this is what we'll do. We'll get you your demo reel when you're done. You'll get your footage, which everyone got their footage. And yeah, it was at that point, and it was crazy because we got like so many actors free, and they were all great.
What did we learn? Actors love to die on camera, so that's
Yeah.
where we
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the most responses.
Okay.
Everyone, they like, if we weren't dying on camera, we wouldn't have did this for free.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't like acting, but I would love
Wanna
to
die.
die on camera.
Well, I know he knows, but John Hurt is one of the greatest actors to die on film, like over 300 times. He's the guy in the movie Alien that gets the
chest
chest burster. So like, being like a John Hurt type of actor would be awesome.
Well,
bro.
the older gentleman in the movie, he kind of was like the Sam Elliott, the one.
Oh yeah,
Oh, he was
that's
good.
right.
He
yeah.
was
good.
he's great. Like he has a presence. Like everyone who sees him, like what's he done?
Yeah.
And it's like they all think, and his name's Harold Mintz, and he was really
That's right,
he has a great
that's
screen
right.
presence,
Yeah.
But he was the one who's like, when I heard I'd die in this, I
Yeah.
signed up right away. Like I want to die. Like you remember
That's
that
funny.
was
That's
his
hilarious.
was
Was that his actual house? Was that
He
his
was
house?
so generous. He let us film in his house in
His
Malibu.
wife was incredible.
They actually did they vaguely put it out there like, oh, my wife was like, who are these people? Like, they could be serial killers. So you vaguely put it out there while we're already in the house. Like, no, we're not. We swear.
yeah.
No, it was
Serial
funny. Like
movie.
they had talked about it. I think after we filmed the scene, they're like, we had talked about like, do you know who we're letting in this house? What if they're actual killers? Which when you're
Which
making
also a
an
good
independent
movie, yeah.
film with no money, I can see why people get that confused.
That's great.
He's probably one of the only characters I was like, I don't want this guy to die.
Yeah.
I was like,
Because he really, I will say like that scene is designed to kind of shift. I think after that scene, the movie shifts into its next gear of like, in a way. I think we thought there was a couple movies we thought of, but for me, one was like Boogie Nights, in the sense that the first half's kind of like fun and crazy, and you're like dancing and partying, but then the second half starts to get real, and things start to get kind of not fun anymore, and they get a little sad, and that was kind of tonally like. The first half does play like that, and then it's designed to take you. And I think Harold's scene's kind of like the gateway into the dark.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's how
yeah.
it was.
You were kind of opening that with your character too, because you were kind of like accepting your own demise.
Yes.
Towards the end, you're like, come on, when you fucking
Yeah.
die? Come on, like, how have I caught yet with that?
Yeah, that's one of my. I love that you caught that because that was just we were filming. I'm like, how's this guy get away with all of this? And like, that's funny having the killer go like, why haven't I caught yet?
Yeah, right.
You know. So
We haven't talked about one character in the movie. And I know you said we can talk about this, so I'm going to talk about this, which is the squirrels.
Oh yeah.
What's up with the squirrels?
Partner in crime right there.
I loved it. It was funny. The voice you guys gave to the squirrels.
Was that a Rick and Morty reference?
Well, kind of yes. Let's just say yes, because it wasn't planned to be. But then we knew, like me and you are Rick and Morty fans, so I know. So I'm like, yeah, let people go with the Rick and Morty stuff.
Got you.
But the thing is, this happened because we were filming the movie, right? And we're filming all these things, and Jen keeps on filming squirrels everywhere.
I needed an outlet, man. I just film his face all the time.
So this was you.
True.
That's great.
So she was filming squirrels all the time, and I'm like, Jen, you don't need to waste time filming squirrels. There's not gonna be squirrels in the movie. Like we need to focus on things that are gonna be in the movie.
Jokes on.
Fast forward, the fucking whole movie's about squirrels.
Oh my God, hilarious.
So it was Genevieve who really brought that into it, and then it was our friend John Salazar who was helpful when we were putting the squirrel in the movie to like use the squirrel as a way to tie the narrative together.
So Genevieve, there's a lot of footage where like you guys are capturing like, and I don't know how coincidental any of it was, or you were just taking B-roll of things, but like, you know, you have like some of like the signs on the street, you know, you had like some of them had to do with squirrels, something about nuts, and I was like, how are they like without? I'm like, of course you guys are low budget, you guys just explain that. But Mike and I were like, damn, this is so cool. Like, you guys were just going around. Like, Mike was like, no, they probably were looking for things like that. And I go, bro, maybe that's a lot of work.
You're both right.
Driving around,
It's a
looking for
mixture.
stuff. Yeah,
It's a mixture.
crazy.
It's both right.
Yeah, because
But it's also 3 years is the answer.
Yeah, right.
So if you go, how do you do this? You go 3 years.
it does like it has
It
its
gives
layers.
you a
though.
lot to shoot in 3 years.
Yeah.
But the headache of all headaches was the cutting it down. And you know, I'm guilty. It's a long movie. I understand. Sue me. It's 2 hours 30. It's the same as Boogie Nights and Pulp Fiction. Okay. I don't want those movies to be shorter either. So I'm not saying we're there, but you know, we tried to make a movie that we thought was the best, and that was the real headache of it all, was the editing and the cutting.
But to answer your question, it was like in layers. So like if an idea sparked or he already had the idea, we would look for it. But a lot of times it's like, what's with these fucking squirrel things, you know, everywhere?
Yeah, because some of the signs it was like eerily too close to like the theme of the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
But
like,
see, that's was supposed to be the fun of the movie, because you're like, how the fuck does anyone do this
that's
stuff?
exactly what I'm saying. Well, you know, I'm sitting there again, like I was super invested because like I was like, I'm locked in to the movie. I don't know anybody here. I'm locked in.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And so so that was going through my head like, damn, did they get that lucky or were they just?
We got that lucky.
Yeah.
We got that lucky, and then it became like Mikey said,
it's
it
like
became
Mikey
one of
said,
those
too.
checklists.
There were
where
times
you
we had
see
to
it,
go
film
out
it.
just to film stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're not saying too. Like there were times where we're literally going out just to get a sign. We know there's a sign here. We got to go drive there and get it for the movie.
Or
So
we
it's
would
a
be
mixture.
driving home. It was by our route or with the same location, and he would always have to
around.
film it again. And I'm like, why do we need to
Yes.
film it again?
I'd make her film
Film it
everything.
again.
All like if it was a certain location, I'd make her film it all the time, like daytime, nighttime, middle of the day, so that if I needed to do transitions and all that.
Yeah.
So
So,
there
what
was
what was the biggest obstacle you guys had filming this movie?
Money.
Money?
Yeah, I mean,
aside from money.
absolutely. It's just even post production. Like I would have to say this. So we shot the whole film. Let me see that camera. This is literally like our movie camera. You know, the same
awesome.
thing we're
I love
doing.
that,
This.
because I mean that's
you
how we
said
do
a
the podcast.
$4,000 budget. Huh?
$4,000 budget. We're the only crew, 2-person crew, and we shot it for 3 years. So Samsung, we shot it on your phone. You know, just putting it out
We didn't
there.
use your audio, but we used.
So we shot this movie. Well, it's because the audio on the phone is not going to be. You know, you need audio. You guys
Yeah,
are audio
yeah,
people.
yeah.
You know how important that is.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, like, you know, we shot the whole movie, but we had zero audio.
Yeah.
The only times we shot with the actual real audio was with Shaun Weiss and with Cartnark. Okay. Because we were like, we're not going to be able to bring these guys back in the studio. You know, these guys, you know, time is money.
Yeah.
So we got to get it on the thing. Everyone else, they all shot it and they all had to come back and do ADR. So everyone you see in the film, they all had to do their performance, then come back a year later and do their performance again. Nothing you hear in the movie is actually from the source audio. It's all ADR.
Wow.
And that was done by our sound guy, Darren Augustus.
Godsend.
Yeah, I was going to say, shout out to that.
I always say he's like our third crew member because, we were there shooting the whole thing, but without him, it's nothing. Yeah. The movie doesn't exist. And I think Shaun Weiss told him the greatest compliment, which he saw him the night of the premiere, and he was like, he's like, I saw you and I knew you were the guy who saved, like, he's like, he said, this guy showed me footage a few years ago. He goes, I couldn't even concentrate on the footage. The sound was so bad. It was just so bad. Like, he goes, what this is, like, he knew that guy sound is so important. And so Darren is just so much a part of the entire movie and the success of the movie and everything that people like and enjoy. Darren is just hugely part of that. So we're so grateful for him for helping us out. And basically the truth is too, it's like he did this for 6 months. We brought everyone in, me and Darren and Jen were there all the time for 6 months, like getting all this done. And I seen him get paid more for like an overnight sound gig. He had to do a overnight, like he got paid in more in one gig than the entire 6 months. So this was not about money for him. Yeah. This was great. Yeah, it was beautiful, and it was just so nice too because he did my last 2 movies. I met him 10 years ago, like when he's from Australia and he moved to LA, and I got him early. Yeah, I got him real early, like when he came to LA, and we get on well. And we did all these movies, and they never really have, they have not came out the way they've just not. So to get a movie that actually we're like, we did it. We all came together, and I'll do this now since we have this briefcase right here. This is
oh my God, they're real killers.
I know it's a gun.
Damn.
No, but this was the award we got at our festival. So this was it was
Independent Film Festival.
Yeah. In fact, am I holding it wrong? I don't know how shit looks on camera. I'm gonna put it both ways. That's the right way, huh?
Yeah, that's good.
There we go. But honestly, this couldn't have happened without Darren.
That's crazy.
It couldn't have happened without, let's put the scroll next to it.
Yeah.
But like, that's what I mean about like me and Darren he's been helping me for a lot of years. Just, for not money for any of this. I mean, we paid him a little we could. He's
Dude,
a great guy.
I'm so happy for you. That's fucking awesome.
But that's what I mean about like, that was kind of like, oh, Darren, we did it. Yeah. We've been on this journey. We did all these movies that didn't work, but look, Darren,
that's
like
crazy.
And for him to be in the audience with us and hear how it played, I loved it. He sent me a text the next day. It was like, what a monster, what a movie. It's just like I loved it. I was like, he understood what we were trying to do.
Oh, man.
But that's what I mean about like gratefulness to like Darren and everyone who came out and helped in whatever little way they did, because this festival's been around for 26 years.
Yeah.
I think this is a 26 year.
Hollywood what is it?
Hollywood Real Independent Film Festival. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing is it's like that's the real independent shit, okay? Like when you see there, that's like the people like us all scraping by, getting our camera equipment. That's like not independent film in Hollywood you see where it's like $10 million, $6 million budgets. You're like, this is tiny independent.
Doesn't Quentin Tarantino still consider himself independent?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he has an independent ethos, but yeah, the budgets are not independent.
Come on, get out of here.
Yeah.
So
there's a huge gap between.
Well, that's what's so cool about this festival is you do see like they are trying to keep some independent film alive. And when we were at the awards ceremony for this, okay, the presenters before they took us up, they're like, this next film, it's long and it's weird, but this is pretty much the hit of the festival to us. That's what they said before they gave it to us, and they're like,
awesome.
They were like, really, this film is when we started this film festival 26 years ago. This is the kind of film we hoped we could be there to help and all that. So like they really said such kind things. The festival itself, and that's what's like so touching because it's like. They don't win anything by giving us this. It's like, it's like this is independent film, and we had a gentleman walk out who worked at the festival. He's an organizer. We walked out of the ceremony. He's like, I was hoping I'd run into you. He's like, I just want to tell you, you get it. And I'm like, oh fuck, I get it. And he's like, what you're making, it's cinema. And I'm like, oh fuck. It's like, but it was the entire reason you go to make anything, for me anyway.
Yeah.
to make it is to make other people like the nerds like us, the cinema nerds, the people who want to go to movies on Friday night and laugh and get scared and cry or whatever. Like, I just, sometimes it's just so boring what's being out there, and we wanted to make something not boring. But like a guy like that, really, that was like, to me, that was a big gift. And I'll say this on the record, I don't think he'd mind me saying this. Shaun Weiss, when it was done, he had tears in his eyes completely. And we talked, and he was very emotional. And he said to me, he goes, he was like, this is my favorite thing I've done since 1992 when I did the first Mighty Ducks.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
I was looking at his post. He seemed like he had a blast. Like, he seemed really happy.
He's a believer now.
That's
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
100% genuine. Like, we couldn't pay him enough to do that.
No,
Like,
That's awesome.
but that was the biggest compliment of any compliment, because it's like, dude, this guy,
He's
he
been in
did
Hollywood.
it. He's
Disney,
done it.
like,
He's
come
already
on,
been there, done
yeah.
that. So for him to say, since the movie that kind of thrusted him, that he's like, this is my favorite movie we've
Bringing
done.
him back. That's great.
And it was just so, because I'd hope he liked it. But I feel like he's our number one fan. So I think he likes it more than anyone. Like, he just gets the movie. So like I said, there was a lot of really good things. And this was 3 years of our lives that me and her.
Yeah, he said kind of like what our main actress Caroline said, which it's like so rarely as like up-and-coming actors, like, do you get to be part of a project that you actually like, right? You're usually just taking whatever pays or just trying to get your practice out there.
Trying to get your work out there.
But they both were repeating like,
They're like, yeah.
You let us be in something really fucking cool. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know if I...
No, yeah.
Like,
No,
really
we're-
cool. And, like, they were grateful to be in it. And it's like, wow, like, we just wanted you to like it and not think, like, we wasted your time.
Yeah.
Or exactly.
Dude, that would be my. I mean, like one of my huge fears, like even with you two in here now, is having a guest in here and just disappointing the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? And like, I know everyone's gonna be nice. Yeah, it just. Yeah,
No, I actually love this.
Yeah, but like, you get what I mean? Like, every artist has that.
You don't want to waste people's time because, and you know that at our level, we don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, if we were all paying people, we'd probably feel less like, come in here.
Yeah, I'm paying you.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Like, something we even discovered with the movie where we've said it to ourselves, like, we are so low budget, but we paid for this movie with both of our time for 3 years. And I think everything takes time to set up your art, to do your art, to plan. So it's like you are paying with something of yourself, even if you don't pay physical money. And so you don't want to let people down. And
But we had so many people help us. Like, even like one of my favorite bands, you would know this, Block Party. Drummer of Block Party's first 4 albums, which are the albums, Matt Tong. He wrote us a song for the movie.
What?
So yeah, like Matt Tong, like we use it as the intro song and the outro song, kind of like it's the theme of the movie, and it's called Welcome, and it's like at the end it's like right before he's gonna like do some really evil stuff, and it's like, welcome to my country, pal. It's like very creepy, and it's like, welcome to my country, and
I think I remember that one.
It fits the vibe so well. It's very industrial sounding.
Was that like that Joy Division sound?
Yeah. He was the one who brought the joy to, and he gave us another. So we have 3 Matt Tong songs. He gave us another one that's like very Joy. It reminded me of Joy Division.
Okay.
Present and Correct. I'm sure we're talking about that. I think so.
rehear
Either
it.
way, though, like this guy from fucking Block Party
dope.
and his own band Algiers is awesome.
dope.
He's a great artist, and he's always been my favorite drummer. Because Daniel was the one who really got me to go, like, after Matt Tong, I listened to drums. Like, I was ignorant before. I'm like, it's the drums. It's in there somewhere. But when I heard Matt Tong, I'm like, oh no, the drums is the forceful power of what I'm hearing here. And I've always appreciated drums after Matt Tong. So he really helped me, But that's what I mean. Like, he just wrote, he's like, he lent us a song. We're like, Matt, can we use this song? Like, we sent him the scene. He's like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah. And then he's like, do you want me to try to write you guys something? Or and I'm like,
Wow.
Do I? I'm like,
you're like, can you write the whole movie?
Actually, I think that's what we did, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, first. Mike, I think I gave him like 8 scenes. I'm
Let's
like,
give him all the best stuff we have visually.
I think I gave him like 8 scenes. I'm like, Matt, like, no worries if you don't. And he's like, look, I think I just do like the one cool scene, or
I don't want to bite off more than I can chew.
Yeah, but no, it was true.
great.
But like, we use his song in there. It's like the intro song you hear right away in the first, and it's the end right before the big ending. So it really fits the vibe of everything.
No, for sure. It really
That's
gives
great.
you the sense of like you're going through this. You're gonna start this journey, and now we're gonna send you off.
Yeah. But what's cool too is the opening. It's just the instrumentals.
Yeah.
It's this rad industrial song, like sounding all these things, and in the end, it's the same song, but now we have Matt Tong singing in it. So it kind of brought it all like we're about to go to.
I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that's what I say. And Cartnark. Are you guys familiar with Cartnark? Or was that your first experience?
I've seen
That was my
videos of that before.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like being a Cartnark myself. I went to the grocery store today. I walked about 50 feet to put the cart away.
See, Cartnark. When we show Cartnark,
I'm walking there looking at everybody like, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking my
That's
car.
right,
too.
Cartnark.
I'm better than you.
I think Agent Sebastian would like the. But like this guy, Agent Sebastian, we were a fan. Actually, my Daniel, he sent me this guy a year or two ago, and I'm just like, this is the greatest thing ever because it's true. Like, if you can't put your own cart away, then civilization's kind of fucked. And also I know there's excuses because I have friends.
Oh, for sure. I've left them before.
I know. But that's the thing, though. Like, some of the best Cartnark episodes is when he catches someone, and they're like, oh, you know what? You're right. I shouldn't have done this. And then if you do that, Cartnark's like, I'll take your cart back for you. And he's like, no, you got me. I should take I was being lazy, and those are my favorite Cartnark episodes. But, like, Cartnark, he gets like millions of views on all over. He's like he's great, and he's on the Woody Show. He's actually on a radio show in LA.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
He's
Agent
gone
Sebastian.
to like UK, Japan, right?
Yeah, I think he said Japan was the best. No carts left behind.
Does he?
Oh,
Does he
that's
actually
great.
throw those magnets? On?
Yes, all of that's true.
Oh,
You guys, you can tell your audience to watch Cartnark videos. There's like hundreds of them, and it's people getting in altercations just like you saw.
Yeah.
I was trying to distill a lot
You
of.
never seen that?
I'd never seen it, dude. That's why when that episode came, when that scene came on, and we were in the car, and I told you about that scene, I was like, what the fuck was that?
See, okay, can I ask you, as someone who didn't know Cartnark, I'm really curious, because we always say, like, this scene's got to be, if you don't know who Cartnark is, this has got to be bizarre. So what did you make of it?
It was so left field. I was like, why is this in the movie? Like, we killed
Yeah.
a lot of people already.
yeah, we don't need one more.
We're just driving him more crazy now.
Yeah.
It's like,
But
oh my
but now
God.
having the context is like, oh my god, I need to see that scene again now.
Yeah. But Cartnark was great. We literally just sent him an email saying, we're making this no budget for a couple $1,000 movie. Would you want to
Nicest
be in
guy.
it? And he was like, sure, I'll be at this. We gave him a location. We met him, and I was like, hey, Cartnark, like, we can do this scene, and I can I can kill you in it, or I can just put my cart back at the way. If you don't want to get bloody, if you don't want to get messy, like, I don't want to put you in a spot where you feel like. He's like, whatever you guys want. So we're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then we figured it out what we were gonna do with it. But Cartnark, the point is, Cartnark was really just kind. Like, he didn't have to come out and do this crazy little movie, but that's what I mean about the kindness of just so many people, and I can name a lot. Just so many people. And even like our friend Jonathan Marin from high school, he put a lot of like little great musical pieces that we needed. And Renee Abrego, we know him too, Daniel's cousin. He gave it. Actually, me and Renee had our own band, Dance Oblivion, and so we were putting this soundtrack together, and I always knew I wanted it to have a lot of variety of sound. I didn't want it to sound all like one thing. It had to sound like a variety of sounds, So that's what was perfect about, bringing Jonathan and Renee and, to have these. But like Renee's stuff was old demos that we did for our band that were for future stuff that don't sound like anything you could sing on at all. Like, it just sounds like, how could you possibly sing over this? And so I never looked at them and our band, I'm like, get away. And then when I heard them again for a movie, in terms of a movie, I'm like, these are fucking brilliant. Like, these sound amazing. The percussions and the, like, just a whack,
Yeah.
And he brings some EDM energy to it. Like, if you hear the EDM edge, it's Renee's stuff.
When you were just driving around the city all bloody up.
Yeah.
It definitely works to give you that out of place feeling, like out of place vibe. Like this is
Yeah,
It
different.
is a weird film. It is
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
put you a little off.
Yeah, and that was like the thing. Like, can we put you off but keep you with us? Can we keep you with us and not lose you? Because we are zigging and zagging and doing stuff, But
It works. It works.
But yeah, we were just like I said. It was really with everyone who came out to help us. Me and her. Like, here's the thing. I'll tell you. We meet a lot of the actors. Like, they seen us once a year, twice a year in this whole experience. They met us once for an hour. But me and her, we've been doing this every day for 3 years, And I'm staring at these people all day long. All day for years, I'm staring at them all. So, like, to me, they're all movie stars. I'm like, they're great. But for them, they're like, I met you 1 hour for one time. And so you do feel like, I'm getting a false sense of like, I'm like, you guys we're all in this. We made this movie for 3 years. They're like, I made it for 2 days, But no, I think, even the ones that came out at our premiere, basically the feedback we got was like, really, it was like, we knew you guys were going to do something good, but we didn't think it was going to be like that. And what I was just proud of is like, we had a mixture of people, and we had family, friends, and all this, and we had people who were like, people who are more left-leaning people, and people who are more right-leaning people. And one of our goals was like, that's why the tagline of the movie goes, a serial killer who wants to bring Americans together by killing everyone equally. It was very important for us to make a movie that took the piss out of everyone and every side. We wanted to make something that everyone could sit down and enjoy, especially in these times. And they're like, we all hate each other. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, if Americans can't talk to each other, like, why are you scared of Russia and China? You have Americans wishing violence on Americans.
For real.
Yeah.
And this movie was trying to be like talking about these things in the safe space of the movie theater. And, but it was just important. It was so cool because we had people, gay people, straight people, Republicans, Democrats, anarchists, punk rock, all these just different things. And everyone's like, we really liked the movie. It was a very, we got really nice feedback on it. So hopefully that's why we want to get this out. And, it won't be out for a little while. We're doing the festival circuit, and we'll point to this interview, hopefully with our fans and people who have been following our journey. But it's still going to be a little minute for it to be out in a big way. And so we want people to just, help. It's always like, you always hear about Hollywood, like independent film, all these millions of dollars. And it's like, we made a 2-person crew film, me and her. One's in front of the camera, one's behind the camera. That's already pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I've never held a camera in my life.
She never held a camera in her life. I got a camera person who never held a camera, and by the end of it, she was like, I went to film school. She was better than all the camera people I had seen in film school. Like, what she was doing at the end, visually moving things around and all this, it was really cool. It was like her film school,
Yeah, hands on.
But it was this movie, like, people who want to support independent film. It's a 2-person crew film, me and Genevieve. She holds the camera, I'm in front of it, but we're doing a lot of stuff. It's a $4,000 budget, and we shot it for 3 years. So, that's a crazy independent film. So, guys, help us out. Check us out. We just want people to, like, get excited, because it's a fun movie, right? You guys saw it. You had fun?
It's fun. I mean,
they're let them tell you. And if they're, if they're lying,
Wish
put
we
it on
could
me.
say more.
Yeah, I know.
But my hands are tied. But go check this movie out.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Just trying to get on the festival circuit, and like I said, this will be really cool for when it's all. It's the first time we're talking about it out loud. So
I like
you guys for giving us.
I like the trailer you posted because you asked the question, "What's your favorite scary movie?" If your answer isn't The Exorcist, then you're fucking wrong.
I know. I think we're the only. Not only does he say that, but he's like, I think he's like, you're an idiot. Sorry,
you're an idiot.
So I think we're like the only film to ever try to market their film by calling their audience an idiot. I don't know if that's like.
Is that your favorite scary movie?
By far.
Okay.
By far. I mean, I love The Shining. That's right up there with it.
Oh yeah, you used to have that the keychain, the room number. That's right.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Right.
He's talking about an old keychain. In the movie, I have another Shining keychain, but it's not that one. That's so funny. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because when that's said, because I think it's said in the movie, it's said in the trailer, and I was like, well, I'm not an idiot. That's
See, that line is there for us Exorcist snobs. For us to go, look how much taste we have.
I am honestly terrified of The Exorcist, and it's for one reason. I grew up loving movies. My mom knew I loved movies too.
Yeah.
She didn't force me to watch The Exorcist with her because she was like, Michael, I want to watch a scary movie. Can you watch it with me? I'm like, okay, I've seen Jason, I've seen Freddy, I've seen, you know, I'm a little kid. I've seen those 80s, 90s horror films. She sits me down. I'm like 10 or 11 years old. And this is during the day. She sits me down and she puts The Exorcist on.
No.
I was in a trance of just fear because I couldn't move at all.
Of course.
For like, and it was like a 2-hour long movie,
and,
right?
and
Like,
you also
long.
went to Catholic school, right?
yeah, and I was just
And we're Mexican.
so terrified.
Yeah.
And so my cousin from Lancaster was spending the week with us that week. He was watching it with us. Technically, he was in the room with us, but he was on my Game Boy Pokemon the whole time.
Okay.
So he knew what was going on, but he wasn't looking up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him like, are you watching
He
this?
knew not to F with that. He's like, I ain't messing with this devil shit. You know, that's what.
Oh my god! Well, if we're on that topic of scary movies, I have a similar story, but it wasn't Exorcist. I loved Exorcist.
Yeah.
Oh
it
my
was. I forget the name of the movie, but it was another like possession-esque movie.
Yeah.
About a demon. So I've always felt this way, which I guess helped me with the fear. Was like, man, the demons. They're trying to go after the good people, right? Because that's the ones they want.
Yeah.
The good
me.
souls.
Oh,
the
that's
good
funny.
souls.
Me,
That's
I'm good. I'm tamed.
You thought you were good.
I'm good.
So you weren't scared of the
No,
none of
until
this-
I
yeah.
saw this one movie.
They got some baddie.
where the demon was jumping to random
Oh my
people.
God.
Was it Freddy?
Does he drag me to hell?
No, Jason goes to hell.
No, I think it was the devil inside.
Yeah,
Might have been that one where like they even jump into a priest, they jump into a cop.
Yeah,
and I
you're
was
like, all bets are off. This demon's going haywire.
I remember having like a little panic attack. Like I was like 14. I remember 14.
That's great.
But anyway,
That's
I'm
really
over
funny.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
that's great.
great. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming in. I really
Thank
do
you.
appreciate
Thank you,
that.
This
guys.
is really fun.
This was fun.
Oh yeah. Deformality.
American
Horror Story.
Nightmare.
American Nightmare.
Nightmare.
By Josh Rivera.
Yeah, and you
Genevieve
said we have
Velez.
voting.
Oh yeah. So on take it away, Jen. Take it away, toys.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so on March 17th, which
Monday.
is Monday, there's going to be voting open for the People's Choice Awards. And we can go on either Twitter or Facebook, and that's going to be on the festival.
Hollywood Real Independent Film Festival.
Yeah.
The website, or just check out Deformelody on Instagram. It's probably like the best way right now. We don't have a website. We don't have money.
I think we can post the links on there too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
we
you
can
post
post
the
to
links
Instagram.
and you have people check it out, because voting will be cool, and we were in that audience. It was
Yeah.
it was a good
Oh, yeah.
time. So
I do want to post a trailer with it too, with
Yeah.
the podcast, so the fans can see it. A majority of our fans were there at the premiere
No.
too, so
we had
Yeah.
And
Spread the word.
if any of the fans were there, like, please tell me so I could thank you, because there were so many people, like, and John or the Salazars brought out so many
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Special shout out to the Salazars, because
Dude.
they brought so many people.
So you didn't
out.
even get to say this.
And-
Dave, who's on the podcast, came out in the movie. He didn't tell us.
well, he wasn't there. I think he was working.
Yeah, but he didn't.
He didn't even
us.
tell us. You're right. You're right.
He's,
That
he
coming
didn't
out.
mention it,
He's
You're
in
right,
so
you're
many
right.
things.
Yeah.
It's
So
kinda-
yeah, I was happy to see that. That was awesome.
Well, if you like the Salazar family, then you're gonna love our movie.
Yeah,
It's
right?
kind of like. And do you know who the voice of the squirrel was?
Who was that?
Who was? I was trying to guess.
Domingo.
That was Domingo? I wouldn't have guessed it at all.
It was Domingo.
I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah. It was funny. I'm gonna tell this story because Domingo, after Alondra Underground, he gave me the Lucius Fox line in Dark Knight where he goes, "This is my resignation."
Uh-huh.
He's like, "I've helped you as much as I can in the movie. I'm not gonna be in these movies anymore." So what happened was, like, we were making Deformelody, and he was right. He didn't want to be in it. It was like, cool, okay, we got Dave, we got John, we got people. And then after him and Daniel had seen an extremely early cut with no voiceover, it was very early. Kind of a year after, and we were watching the film, and Domingo started like doing squirrel voice as we were watching the squirrel. Domingo started doing the squirrel voice, so he put his hat in the ring for that, and we took the bait and hired him. So
That's awesome.
he's great.
That's great. Oh, yeah, great, dude.
Thank you guys so much.
No, thank you one more
yes,
time,
having us.
Josh, Genevieve.
Genevieve.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
that. Thank you for inviting us.
That was fun.
Thank you for getting me
Casual
there.
Friday.
Everyone, go vote.
Go vote. Even if you
and
haven't
then
seen it, take our
follow
word
it.
for it.
Thank you.
Follow it on Instagram, because it's not out yet, but if you're a horror fan or you like movies, it's for movies and horror fans, and for so check it out. You're gonna like it. Or you're Money back.
Yeah,
Do I have to I don't have to do money back if I say it, right?
No.
Are you guys okay? Cool.
No, we never.
We'll put a disclaimer.
Deformality.
No, bro, we do not say that.
Deformality, an American nightmare. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.